Get it, Yanti. Get it, Yanti. Get it, Yanti. Get it. Get it. Get it, Yanti. Get it, Yanti. Get it. Get it. Get it. All right, y'all. It's Crypto Yanti, and we talking about stable coins. What are they? Why do they exist? And why are they so important in crypto, especially when the markets are acting wild? So, essentially, I want to tell you guys this one story first before we get into it. So there's this guy. He had, I guess, like a couple. I don't want to say the number. I'm gonna post the article when I find it. But he had $10,000 in XRP, and then he decided to switch it over to RLUSD, which is a stable coin. He flipped it over to RLUSD, and he lost all his money. When I say he lost all his money, because like what happened is, sometimes things happen, and when you convert, it doesn't really work out that well. But essentially, what a stable coin is a type of crypto that is pegged to a stable asset, usually the US dollar, so USDC, USDT, which is known as Tether, and DAI, DAI. They're designed to avoid crazy price swings you get with coins like Bitcoin or Ethereum. So like we know that Bitcoin can go all the way up to 100 grand and crash all the way back down to 15. But with these stable coins, if you put 100 grand in them, they're supposed to remain at 100 grand, right? So stable coins are the foundation to the crypto economy. You use them to take profits without cashing out to fiat. They're the base trading pair on most exchanges. So like when you go to trade, you'll see like Bitcoin paired with Tether or Bitcoin paired with USDC. You can lend them, you can stake them, or you can use them in DeFi or for yield. So if you're on Coinbase and you have USDC, I think the average return is about 4% for those. They are critical for saving, sending, remittances, and transacting in volatile markets. So we've seen a lot of fluctuation in crypto. That's why they exist, is so that you don't have to worry about losing your money. Especially like if you doing a lot with these meme coins, and say you bought Shiba Inu or Doge or Pepe, and you doubled your money and you wanted to take it out and put it in somewhere safe. These coins are typically safe. The one that is the most traded but questions about transparency is Tether, which is USDT. There's a lot of questions about transparency for Tether. We're all trying to figure out what's holding that up at this point. USDC or Circle, widely trusted, backed by cash and US treasuries. So that's the one that I typically like to go with. And then there's DAI, which is also known as MakerDAO. It's decentralized and it's backed by crypto collateral. There's some newer ones that I mentioned, like RLUSD, which is the one that is with XRP. It is the coin that sits on the XRP ledger. So one of the things that you should know is that they are called stable, but that does not mean risk-free. If the issuer collapses or loses a peg, your dollar might become 88 cents. But it is less volatile than Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of the other ones. Terra USD was an algorithmic stablecoin that collapsed to zero. That was behind the Terra Luna stuff that happened, where it just collapsed. DAI can also lose a peg if ETH crashes and collateral is underfunded. So that's why one of the reasons I stick to well-tested options like USDC. Now there are some other stable coins out there too that are pegged to gold. So PaxG is pegged to gold, and I think that's probably another safe option, because gold doesn't really fluctuate like that. But overall, stable coins aren't exciting, but you need to know about them. They're essential If you make some money and you need to move it somewhere real fast, because it takes time to get off the exchange, that's what you do. Um, because they're essential in a market. We've seen it. We've seen it with Bitcoin just recently. Bitcoin went all the way up to 100 or 80 and came back down to 15 and then went all the way back up. Then it started tripping just recently and went to like 70. So if you're a nervous investor versus a long-term investor, you definitely need to know about stable coins.